Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmate. Our lesson for today is Day 12 Leadership. Lesson title: Human Behavior in Organization. Lesson objectives. At the end of this module, you should be able to discuss key factors that define a person and determine the key elements of organization behavior. What is organizational behavior? Here is the study of human behavior in the workplace, the interaction between people and the organization, with the intent to understand and predict human behavior. Sabi dito, ito ay pag-uugali ng isang organisasyon at ito ay pag-aaral ng ugali ng isang tao sa isang trabaho o organisasyon. Sabi din dito, yung pakikipag-ugnayan sa pagitan ng tao at organisasyon na may intensyong intindihin at hulaan ng ugali ng isang tao. Different notion on organizational behavior. Kalahan, Flanner, and Cudson. Organizational behavior is a subset of management activities concerned with understanding, predicting, and influencing individual behavior in organizational setting. Ayon kay Kalahan, Flanner, and Cudson, related siya sa mga pag-manage ng mga activities na relate yung activities na yon sa understanding, predicting, and influencing individual behavior in organizational setting or setup. Next, Raman J. Aldag. Organizational behavior is a branch of the social sciences that seeks to build theories that can be applied to predicting, understanding, and controlling behavior in work organizations. Ayon naman sa kanya, is a branch of a social science na nakahanap ng mga teorya na maaari nating i-apply para ma-predict, mahulaan, o maintindihan at mamanipula or makontrol ang ugali ng isang organisasyon. Next, Newstorm and Davis. Organizational behavior is the study and application of knowledge about how people act with an organization. It is a human tool for human benefit. It applies broadly to the behavior of people in all types of organization. Or kung paano siya kumikilos sa isang organisasyon. Next, Stephens P. Robbins. Organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, group, and structure have on behavior within organization for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving on organizational effectiveness. Dito naman, impact ng ugali sa loob ng isang organisasyon.
Good afternoon everyone, I'm Trixie and let's continue our topic for today. Organizational culture. It is defined as individual in an organization having a common perception and sharing core values. Ibig sabihin po yan is kung paano nagpo yung isang company or kung paano nagdala ng isang company. Yun po. And then, three very important points. An organization is a group of two or more people that shares a common goal and meets a regular times. Ibig sabihin, although kung gaano kalaki at kaliit ang company, pagka ang company may mga common na magkakasundo na mga employee, nagpo-flow siya ng maayos, although gaano siya kaliit or kalaki yung mga policies na susunod. Yung company, it's making money, mga ganon. And then, do not rely on your intuition. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong nire-referan ng mga source. Kunwari, may nagawa kang mali sa company, ganon. Kailangan mo dito magko-coordinate ka muna sa mga mas nauna sa'yo, sa mga partner, yung alam na yung mga gagawin, yung wag mo iaano yung intuition mo sa sarili mo kasi magkakasama naman kayo sa organization. may mga tutulong sa'yo dyan, pera din sa mga boss. Pwede mo din tanungin yung mga boss about that. Do not rely on your intuition. And the last one, human behavior can be understood and predicted, but it often depends on the contingencies or the situation. Ibig sabihin yan, human behavior, predictable yan. At katulad ng nakipagkapwa-tao mo sa school, kung paano ka makibagay, ganon, sa kanila, ganon, predictable ang tao. May mga circumstance na di kayo magkakaintindihan. Mga ganyan, that's part of psychology ng isang tao. Di tayo pare-pareho ng opinion. Then, three key factors that define a person. First, personality. The way we characterize that person. Kung how a person acts, so basically, parang cellphone lang yan, ganon. Ano ba yung specs mo bilang tao, maingay ka ba, tahimik ka ba, ganon. Personality, bastos ka pa, ganon. Then, it includes extroverts and introverts. Ang extrovert naman person, ang example niya ay is maingay, ganon. Outgoing, madaldal, madaling makipagkapatawa. Then, si introvert naman, kulong sa bahay, tahimik, may sariling mundo, mga ganyan. Then, sensing or intuitive. Si sensing, ang sensing ay parang pinukuha may pagkatao ng isang tao, ganun, yung pinapakiramdaman mo. Si intuitive naman, yung binibase mo lang kung paano nag-act yung isang tao, kung paano yung ugali ng isang tao sa itsura niya, ganun. Yung ugali ng tao sa itsura niya or sa mga inaakto niya sa sarili niya. Yung mga ganun. Then, thinking or feeling. Ibig sabihin yan, yung iniisip mo ng ugali ng tao versus sa napifeel mo na yung ugali ng isang tao. Then, perceiving or judging. Yung perceiving, kunwari sa isang tao, kung anong tingin mo sa kanya, yung judging naman, meron kang binibitawan na jurisdiction agad, gano'n. Then, pangalawa naman tayo, ability is defined in two ways. Physical ability and then intellectual activity. Ang physical activity dito, ang tinutukoy niya dito ay mga physical activities. Kagaya ng running, lifting, mga ganon. Basta mga physical activities. Then, intellectual ability, ibig sabihin, perform mental activities like pagsasolve sa math, mga ganun, basta mental activities. And then, learning can occur several ways. Classical conditioning makes learning passive. Then, operant conditioning and social learning. Ibig sabihin yan, yung conditioning, like classical conditioning makes learning passive. Ibig sabihin, alam na niya yung gagawin niya. Kahit instruction lang yung hindi na pinapaliwanag ng teacher. And then, operant conditioning makes learning active. Yung, ibig sabihin, laging active yung isang tao, ganun, yung at sinasalihan para siya. Then, social learning, yung ibig sabihin, yung natututo siya sa experience niya, ganun. And then, learning styles describe the way we learn. They include bodily kinesthetic learning, which happen through experience. Then, visual spatial learning happens when people remember what they have seen. And verbal learning happens when people remember what they hear and say. And then logical mathematical learning, which occurs when people reflect on concepts.
Now let's talk about the key elements of organization behavior. Isa sa elements nito yung individual and group. Dito, sinasabi dito, isa sa factors nito ay yung mga taong nagtatrabaho doon sa isang organization o sa isang company, sila yung nagbibigay buhay nito. At binubuo sila ng mga small group, large group. Di mawala dito yung mga informal tsaka mga formal group. Sa formal group, kadalasan dito, nagbibase siya sa manager tsaka sa mga subordinate nito. Dito nagsasama-sama sila para mag-brainstorm at pag-usapan yung mga specific goals nila. Dito naman sa mga informal groups, nagsasama-sama sila dito para pag-usapan yung mga group goals nila, mga unwritten rules, tsaka yung mga working patterns nila. At dito, meron silang iba't ibang attitude. At dito, yung experience ay traits tsaka experience nila. Ginagamit nila to para makuha yung mga needs nila. Yung mga social needs nila, physical needs nila. At dito sa mga attitude nila, hindi yung pinapakita nilang attitude doon. Hindi yun yung attitude na nakukuha nila o na-adapt nila. Nakukuha nila o naman nila sa family nila. Kung hindi, ito yung mga na-adapt nila sa environment nila. For example, sa friends relationship nila, sa mga religious belief nila, yun yung mga ipinapakita nila sa work environment nila. At dito naman sa yung mga desire, needs, wants nila, ito yung nagmamold sa kanila. Ito yung nagmamold sa behavioral nila pagdating dun sa may work na yun. At dito sa dulo, the study of this factor would help management to mold the behavior of employee for achieving organizational group objectives. Nakakatulong daw yung pag-aaral nito para mas mapadaling ma-mold yung behavior ng isang empleyado para mas madali nilang ma-achieve yung organizational goals nila. Now let's talk about the organizational structure. The organizational structure, ito yung informal structure ng isang organization. For example, CEO to manager, pababa yun. Manager to employee. Tapos yung CEO, magbibigay siya ng trabaho sa manager, tapos yung manager, bahala siya mag-divide nun sa mga employee niya. At yun, base sa may kanya-kanya silang trabaho. Base yun sa skills nila. Kung ano yung skills nila, doon sila mapupunta sa trabaho na yun. For example, expertise mo magaling kang sa computer. Tapos yung isa naman, magaling ka sa pagpapile ng mga papers. Ikaw yung mga tiga-kolekta, ganyan, tiga-ayos. Magaling ka doon. Doon ka ilalagay. Siyempre, ilalagay ka doon, i-divide ka ng manager as a employees para mas mapabilis yung pagkuha nyo ng organizational goals. At siyempre, sa may pagdi-divide ng manager na yun, may kanya-kanya kayong trabaho. At yung trabaho na yun, for example, sa isang oras o araw, kailangan nyo matapos yun. Kailangan nyo ma-accomplish yun. Para yung feedback nun, maganda sa manager nyo, tsaka sa CEO nyo. Ginagamit din yung organizational structure para mas mapabilis yung coordination pababa o pataas ng mga employee at ng manager. Yun lang.
Environment. All organizations operate within an external environment. A single organization does not exist alone. It is a part of large system that contains many other elements such as government, the family, and other organizations. The external environment affects the organization through technological and scientific development, economic activity, social and cultural influences, and the government action. The changes in environmental conditions may compel the management to bring changes in the internal organization relationship. Sabi dito, organizations within an internal environment. Ano nga ba ang external environment? Ang external environment is composed of all living outside factor or influences that impact the operation of business. Ibig sabihin nito, ito yung mga impact ng operation ng business na hindi kayang kontrolin. Like, feedback ng tao. Part siya ng isang firms, company o isang organization yung external environment. Yung external environment ay nakaka-apekto daw sa political factors, economic factors, social, cultural factors, and technological factors. Yung political factors, pwedeng tungkol sa defense and military policies, political beliefs ng government o kaya naman political orientation. With business community, socio-cultural naman. Ito yung mga factors na hindi kayang kontrolin ng isang business. Ito yung attitude ng mga tao sa trabaho, religion, caste system at education. Technological naman, ito yung changes sa product, service, living condition na dapat ma-analyze ng business. Yung mga bagay na yan para ma-adapt sila ng mga pagbabagong na dapat gawin. Tapos yung internal organization, relationship, ito naman yung tinatawag na 5M. Man, management, machinery, at money.
Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y. Look at motivation from the manager's perspective. The manager with the Theory X perspective believe people are inherently lazy and will try to avoid work. The manager with the Theory Y perspective believe people enjoy work as much as play. So, ibig sabihin, ang perspective daw ni Theory X, dapat, kailangan daw ng manager ng tamang assist ang mga employee tatamad-tamad. Dahil sila yung mga taong umiiwas sa trabaho at kailangan i-motivate. Or else, magkakaroon ng problema. Samantalang sa Theory Y naman, it emphasize the staff are self-disciplined, self-motivated, at sila yung mga nag-i-enjoy sa kanilang trabaho. Sa madaling salita, sila yung mga workers or employees na may pangarap sa buhay.
McClelland's need theory explained the certain needs that people strive to satisfy are acquired from the culture. His research centered around three needs of particular significance in understanding managers and workers: need for achievement, need for power, and need for affiliation. The need for power is the primary motivator of successful manager. So when we say McClelland need theory, ipinapaliwanag nito ang mga ilang pangangailangan na pinagsisikapan ng mga tao na mas satisfied sa mga bagay-bagay. His research centered around three needs of particular significance in understanding managers and workers. First is the need for achievement, which means that they are seek challenges that are right at their edge of their abilities. And the second is the need for power, which means a desire for power or either to control other people or to achieve a higher goal. So, hindi naman natin may kakila na halos lahat ng tao ay naghahangad ng kapangyarihan or mas mataas na posisyon. And the last is the need for affiliation, which means describe a person need to feel a sense of involvement and belonging with a social group. But the need for power is the primary motivator of successful manager. Goal setting theory. It's an important part of all major theories of motivation. Goals that are more specific, difficult, and achievable will result in higher performance than easy goal. Goals that are more participatively set are accepted by the workers, provide some sort of feedback, provision, and reward, and are more effective in motivating the worker. So, pag sinabi nating goal, ito yung mga layunin natin sa buhay. Kung ang goal mo ay mas specific, difficult, and achievable, so it will result a higher performance. Goals are participatively set, are accepted by the workers. So, bukod sa pagbibigay ng feedback, si goals din nagbibigay din ng reward. And as the result, the employee are more motivated in their work. So, when we say equity theory, explain how people motivated by fairness. Sinasabing si equity theory daw ay pinapaliwanag kung paano ang mga tao ay nauudyok sa pagiging patas. A person will resort a determination of equity by evaluating all the inputs and output of situation. If the person perceives the situation to be unfair, he or she may use a variety of ways to find the equity in the situation.
ang isang tao ay gagawa ng pagpapasya ng katarungan sa pamamagitan ng pagsusuri sa lahat ng input or output situation. And then, kung nararamdaman o nahahalata niyang ang isang sitwasyon ay hindi na patas, maaari siyang gumamit ng iba't ibang paraan para to find the equity in the situation. Example, if an employee learns that a peer doing exactly the same for as them is carrying more money, then they will choose to do less more work, thus creating fairness in their eye.
Reinforcement theory. The consequence of an action, reward, and punishment determine person motivation for engaging in the certain behavior, people to learn, repeat behavior. For example, positive punishment. A child teased sister, making her cry so loud the mother spanked him on his button. Because of this, child never teased sister again. Negative punishment. A teenager caught cheating in examination, parent to forbid him to his car and reduce his allowance. Teenager does not cheat in his parent anymore. Expectancy theory is the based on idea motivation result from deliberate choice to engage in certain activity in order to achieve worthwhile outcome. For example, I remember two students in my management degree courses who were session manager with exceptional management skill experience. They both signed up for a course to learn new idea theories they could apply.
So good afternoon everyone. I'm George Marsan. Let's continue the group behavior topic. There are three types of teams. First bullet, the problem solving teams. Focus on solving problem. So madaling intindihin, ito yung team na nangunguna pag mayroong problemang ang isang company or isang business. They gather ang isang meeting para ma-solve yung problema as soon as possible para hindi lumaki yung isang problema at para hindi makasira sa isang business or sa isang company. Next bullet is the cross-functional teams. Sabi po dito, focus on a task. So, napakaraming task ng isang business or isang company. Meron tayong task ng financial, meron din sa marketing, operations, and sa human resources. Ito yung team na iba-iba man sila ng task, pero they have a common goal. Goal nila na mapalago yung isang business o isang company para rin sa kanila. So, third bullet is the self-managed team. Manage a process. So, dito nga, assign tasks to employees depending on their specialist skill. Kung saan ka magaling, dun ka ilalagay. Like example, sa hotel or sa resort, kung magaling ka mag-encourage, magaling kang mag-approach ng mga bisita, ilalagay ka nila dun. So, next slide. Three problems with using teams are. Sabi dito, group thinking, desire to get a consensus. Ano ba yung consensus? Ito yung sinasabi nilang general agreement na madalas na hindi nangyayari sa isang grupo. Bakit? Kasi iba-iba yung pananaw, iba-iba yung paniniwala. So, nagiging irrational or nagkakaroon ng dysfunctional decision making. Nagiging pangit yung outcome dahil sa ganitong pag-iisip. Ganun. So, nagiging problema nga ito na dapat ito yung unang-unang iniiwasan ng grupo. Dapat iisa yung goal nila o iisa dapat yung objective nila para hindi nagkakaroon ng problema sa grupo. So, the next is the group shift, lack of individual responsibility. Sabi rin sa Google na members of a group exaggerated toward a more extreme position, na minsan nagiging gahaman yung iba sa position. Ah, nagiging minsan nagiging makasarili sila para umangat sila sa grupo. Hindi na nila iniintindi yung kapakanan ng iba. So the next is the escalation of commitment. Staying with the bad plan, na ito dapat din yung maalis sa isang grupo. Yung mali na nga yung plano is didiretsuhin pa. Dapat kung mali yun sa plan A, dapat meron tayong plan B. Pag mali yung plan B, meron tayong plan C. So, dire-diretso lang yan. Dapat hindi tayo mawalan ng pag-asa, o dapat hindi tayo mag-stay doon sa plano na yun, dahil on that plan, hindi lalago yung isang grupo o isang team. Okay, let's proceed to next slide. 10 issues are important to team organization and success. First is the size. Ano ba yung size na to? Number of heads sa team. Kung ilan kayo sa team. Dapat alam mo yan. Aware ka dun. Then, second is team skills. Ability to do the task. Dapat kayang gawin ang isang task para dire-diretso yung gawain. The next is the authority. Itong authority na to, dito po pasok yung mga boss, ganun. So, they have authority to give the command sa team. Then the next is the geography. Geography, based on the research, ito yung needs or pangangailangan ng isang team. Like example, sa team building or seminar. So, they need the financial para kung i-deploy man sila doon, meron silang gagamitin. So, the next is the goals. Yung goals na to, like example, yung quota, work to achieve. So, kung ilan yung quota mo, dapat on that day, you need to finish that. You need to reach that. Kasi nga, goal mo yan sa isang araw. Kailangan mo maabot yun. The next is the timing. Dapat alam mo yung nangyayari sa team mo, kung meron ba silang progress sa binigay mong task. Then, next is the leadership. Leading others. Ikaw dapat yung nasa likod nila. Ikaw yung magtuturo, ganun. Kailangan mo silang i-lead sa kanilang gagawin para matapos o mayari ng mabilis isang trabaho. Next, reward system. Ito yung order to motivate employees to work. So, kailangan minomotivate mo sila. Kunyari, sa reward. Pag naabot mo, kunyari, yung 10 quota, kunyari, kakain tayo sa labas. So, ganun. Dun sa ganung klase, pwede mo silang ma-motivate. So, ganun yung reward system. Ito yung next is the group decision making. As a team, kailangan nyo mag-meeting to improve the productivity ng isang company o isang team ninyo. Dapat nag-usap-usap kayo. Kunyari, nagkakamustahan. Example, nahihirapan ka ba sa ganito? So, pwede mong sabihin yon sa group decision making. And pwede kang mag-suggest na kung anong dapat gawin para mapadali, para mapagaan yung trabaho. The last is the trust. Dito, na-increase yung moral ng isang empleyado o isang team. Dapat ito yung isa sa pinakamahalaga nga para walang ilangan. Kailangan meron kang trust or tiwala sa mga kasama mo.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmate. Our lesson title is all about human behavior in organization. When we say conflict can be defined as a process in which one party perceives that another party has negatively affected or is about to negatively affect something of concern to the first party. Okay, ang ibig sabihin po nito, ang pagkakasalungatan ay maaaring tukuyin bilang isang proseso kung saan napapansin ng isang partido ng ibang partido ay negatibong nakakaapekto o malapit na makaapekto ng negatibong bagay na pinag-aalala sa unang partido. Conflicts can be viewed in three ways. First, the traditional view is that conflict should be avoided. So, ibig sabihin nito, ang traditional na pananaw ay ang pag-aaway na dapat nating iwasan. Pangalawa, the human relations view is that conflicts are unnatural and people need to learn how to resolve them. So, ang ibig sabihin naman po nito, ang pananaw ng mga ugnayan ng tao ay ang kontrahan ay isang likas na bahagi ng buhay at kailangang malaman ng mga tao kung paano lutasin ang mga ito. Pangatlo, the interactionist view is that conflicts are positive and lead to innovation and change. So, ang ibig sabihin naman po nito, ang pananaw ng interactionista ay ang mga hidwaan ay positibong at hahantong sa pagbabago at pagbabago. How conflicts be addressed? So, ibig sabihin nito, informational-based conflicts can be resolved by sharing information. Conflict may also functional when it supports the goals of the organization and dysfunctional when it hinders performance and does not support the goals of the organization. So, ang ibig sabihin naman po nito, ang mga salungatang batay sa impormasyon ay maaaring malutas sa pamamagitan ng pagbabahagi ng mga impormasyon. Ang salungatan ay maaari ding gumana kapag sinusuportahan nito ang mga layunin ng samahan at hindi nagagamit kapag hinahadlangan nito ang pagganap at hindi sinusuportahan ang mga layunin ng samahan. Strategies for handling conflict include: first, competing, wanting to win, creating a win-lose situation. So, ibig sabihin naman po netong competing, nakikipagkompetensya, nais na manalo o lumikha ng pagkapanalo. Collaborating, wanting to work together for a win-win situation. So, ibig sabihin naman nito, pakitulungan para sa isang panalo. Avoiding, deciding not make a decision. Ibig sabihin po nito, pag-iwas na huwag magpasya. Accommodating, letting the other side win. Ibig sabihin po na accommodating, matulungin, hinahayaan ang iba pang panig upang manalo. Compromising, compromising means working to get some of what you want. So, ibig sabihin naman po nito, nakikipagkompromeso o nagtatrabaho upang makuha ang ilan sa gusto o makuha ang ilang mga gusto. Not all conflict can be resolved just between the two parties, and sometimes a third party is required to intervene. So, ang ibig sabihin naman po nito, hindi lahat ng tunggalian ay maaaring malutas sa pagitan lamang ng dalawang partido. At kung minsan ay kinakailangang makialam ang isang third party. Techniques for resolving a conflict involving a third party include: first, conciliation, keeping both sides talking. So, ibig sabihin ng conciliation, pagkakasundo o pinapanatili ang pakikipag-usap sa magkabilang panig. Pangalawa, fact-finding, getting the facts of the conflict. Ibig sabihin naman po nito, paghanap ng katotohanan o pagkuha ng mga katotohanan o impormasyon na hidwaan. Pangatlo, fact-finding with recommendations. So, ibig sabihin po nito, paghanap ng katotohanan sa mga rekomendasyon. Pang-apat, mediation. Ibig sabihin po nito, making suggestion for a solution. So, sa isang solusyon. And the last, arbitration, making the final decision for the parties involved. So, ibig sabihin naman po nito, paggawa ng pangwakas na desisyon para kasangkot na partido.